Live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Yep. There you go.
Blew it right by him.
Job.
Unbelievable job.
But you led this team to the best record in the NBA, the most wins in franchise history. Congratulations. You are the NBA Kia MVP.
Away from the NBA Finals. The MVP is SGA, and Anthony Edwards, despite a 32-point effort, his team down 0-2 now as they head back to Minneapolis.
I mean, yeah. But, it's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They really do. They foul all the time. And then, you can't really touch Shea.
Do I detect a little crying from Chris Finch and the Minnesota Timberwolves? Yeah, I think I do. Welcome, everybody. It is the Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show right here on 1310 WDPN. Actually, it is a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the program. Welcome in on this kickoff to the Memorial Day weekend. Yes, it still feels like we are ready for about week 7 of the high school football season, but thankfully the rain is gone. I think it's out of here for the weekend, so enjoy the next couple of days before most of us head back to work on Tuesday. And if you got to put some hours in over the weekend, hey, give it your best shot, okay? Just do what you do, and it'll all work out. All right, we got lots of stuff on the program today. We will do a little recap of the Guardians' win over the Detroit Tigers last night. A nice little 7-0 win by the Guards to go to 27-22 on the year. And Detroit falls to 33-18. So now the Guards are just 5 games out of first. Same 2 teams will do it again tonight, and then Saturday and Sunday before the Dodgers come to town. Guards look really good last night. You heard in that little quick highlight montage with Cade Smith just blowing the Tigers away in that one inning. They didn't know where the ball was going. They couldn't smell the fastball. They couldn't react to the breaking ball. It was good stuff. That's a good way to get that series going. Boy, the weather in Detroit was miserable yesterday. You know how it's been around here? It was like that in Detroit. Maybe even a little bit worse. Some of you, if you were trying to watch the game on the television or on your computer or phone, whatever, there was that misty fog, almost like on the lenses that the cameramen were using, and it was an ugly night in Detroit. I think they had about 22,000 people that paid. There may have been about 13,000 people in the building. It was 49 degrees, overcast, a mist, but Guards got the job done yesterday, and the pitching, well, speaks for itself. No runs and 5 hits for the Tigers yesterday, and Detroit has been just bludgeoning teams the last several games, but the Guardians picked up 2 in the 4th. They got 1 in the 5th, a big 4 spot in the 9th inning yesterday, and they go on to win to go to 27-22 on the season. So, same 2 teams will do it again tonight. Looks like a 7-10 pitch, and it's going to be Ciccone and Job, the pitching matchup tonight in Detroit. There is a game already underway in the Bigs today. Baltimore, who just absolutely stinks right now. They're beating the Boston Red Sox 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Baltimore, correct me if I'm wrong, did they not win 100-plus games last year? I think they did. And if they didn't, they were real close. But they're awful this year. And I don't think there was a huge change in the makeup of their team. They're 16-32 right now. 16-32. I don't know what happened there. I really don't. My son is kind of like a quasi Baltimore Orioles fan, and he's like, I think he's already packed it in for this season. He's already packed it in. All right, the NBA tonight, the Pacers going to take on the New York Knicks, and that is game 2 of that series. Oh, they can't possibly do what they did the other night, can they? They really can't. 8 o'clock tonight, New York and Indiana. Knicks are given 5.5 tonight. Oh, boy, that seems dangerous to me. Now, look, I'm not Vegas. I don't set the lines. But I'm telling you right now, that seems fishy. That just seems fishy. How about the ratings the other night, too? Did you see that? Like they had 6.6 million on the average on the TNT broadcast. It peaked at 8.5 million when the game was in its final minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad for Eastern Conference Finals. That's not bad. Almost, a little over 8.5 million when things were really tight there down the stretch. Matter of fact, the Cavaliers actually had a little something to do with this story that came out today. The game 1 game between the Knicks and Pacers, it became the most watched Eastern Conference Final game 1 since 2018, when the Cavaliers and the Celtics squared off. Remember that one? Remember that series? Unfortunately, it didn't go the way we wanted it to. But Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals now for the first time since 2000. That's when they lost to Indiana in 6 games. So tonight it's a 5.5-point spread. I would probably just not even go near that game. And I'm not. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. I'm going to tune in about, 8 o'clock, which means they'll tip it at 8:10. 9:15 will be halftime. All the nonsense during I'll probably tune in about 10 o'clock. I'm going to tune in about 10 o'clock and see what's going on with the hoops. I'll be watching the guards tonight. Actually, I'm going to try to mow the grass tonight. Boy, we've got something going on back down the hall, and I don't know what it is, but I hope everything is okay. I plan to mow tonight. I did a little front yard, backyard, side of the yard check before I left for work this morning, and it seemed a little damp. But I'm thinking by the time I get home tonight, which hopefully will be around 7-ish, we're going to crank up the old mower and we'll go until dark. All right. I think by the time the sun goes, well, there's no sun, but by the time it's dark, the yard will be done and ready to roll, and we can carry on with our weekend. Phone lines are open for you, by the way, at 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can also text the program at 330-924-7088. And you can also watch us and enjoy the broadcast on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and the Q92 Radio Facebook page as well. It is also a fill-in-the-blank Friday here on the Sam Bourquin program as we get you ready for the big Memorial Day weekend. And today's fill-in-the-blank question is, we got some good ones already. I'm always anxious to see what your response is going to be for our 3-question Thursday and our fill-in-the-blank Friday. And today is no different. I think we're going to get some really cool and maybe interesting things and maybe some stuff that we didn't think we were going to hear today. But today is fill-in-the-blank Friday. Here it is. Not many people know, but your hidden talent is blank. Not a lot of people might know, but your hidden talent is blank. So in layman's terms, what's your hidden talent? What is it? I am really anxious and curious to find out about some of you all and your hidden talents. I think this could be fun today. Kim checking in down in Texas says comedy. based on the nut jobs that live around me. Oh, my God. Jim Baumgartner says, my hidden talent is karaoke. Doug says, punctuality. Good job, Dougie. Don Smith says his hidden talent is remembering useless but important information. Okay. How many of us fall into that category? I confess. How many people fall into the category of knowing useless? Well, see, Don says useless but important. Mine's not important. It's just useless. Every once in a while, I think I could probably answer a question on a game show or one of those goofy quizzes that pop up on your phone if you're on TikTok or something. But I'm right there. I've got a lot of useless information stored up here. Trust me when I tell you that. Thad Henderson says his hidden talent is doing. I always mispronounce this. It's a puzzle thing. Is it Sudoku? Sudoku? He says I'm going to say Sudoku. Sudoku. He says doing oh, wow, he does them in pen. Thad, that's pretty awesome. He says counting numbers is like magic for him. All right. I've never done the Sudoku or Sudoku. It intimidates me. It does. I'm not a good puzzle guy. I can do word find. I can do I guess I'm okay at crossword puzzles, but some of the other stuff where you really got to use your noggin and use your brain, I kind of fall short there. But that is our fill in the question. Yeah, fill in the blank Friday question today. Not many people know, but your hidden talent is blank. Let me know on my Facebook page, AM 1310 WDPN Twitter page, and on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as we're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Now, I would be remiss if I did not tell you about the big weekend going on over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It is the 2025 Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. And if you're hungry right now, get there. They've got everything and anything. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they have 8. Yes. They have 8 different ribbers this year. They've got Armadillo's Barbecue, Austin's Texas Lightning Barbecue, Off the Bone Barbecue, Big Show, Uncle Bacon's, that's one of my favorite, and Fat Freddy's, and also Mr. Johnson's Barbecue. Those are just the rib vendors, okay? Now, you can also get all the other cool stuff that you have come to know and love and just gorge on when we're talking about burn-offs or festivals and things like that. They got the French fries. They got the funnel cakes, the elephant ears. They got the sausage sandwiches. They got the lemonade. They got the drinks. They got everything you need. This is all going on at the 2025 Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So make sure you get over this weekend. It's going to go today, Saturday, and Sunday, and it will be capped off by a fantastic, and I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome, the fireworks display Sunday night around 9:30 over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So come on out and check it out. Nicolina from our sister station Q92 is over there. Christian and Lauren are going to be there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday from 5 until 8. And I'll be there Sunday from 12:30 to 4:30. So come on over, say hello. We'll probably have some goodies to give away. We can hang out, chop it up a little bit, grab some photos, and maybe take a couple of videos, and we're going to chow down. And I understand they've got some very interesting beverages there as well. So come on over, see us, the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend, the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. All right, it is 23 minutes after 3 o'clock. We're going to step out here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Don't forget the phone lines are open at 330-821-1310, and you can also text us at 330-924-7088. It's a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition here on 1310 WDPN.
Hey, class of 2026, you are this close to senior year. Are you ready?
Get ready to see yourself in a whole new light. Laura Esposito is not just taking pictures, she's creating confidence, one epic senior portrait at a time. Imagine walking out of your photo session feeling like your absolute best self, with images that make you say, wow, is that really me? Seniors, this is your moment to shine. And Laura means really shine. Her sessions are part photo shoot, part confidence boost, and 100% fun. Parents, you'll love how she makes the entire process smooth and stress-free. Serving All-Star County schools and surrounding areas, Laura transforms senior year milestones into jaw-dropping memories that'll make you smile for years to come.
I see you. I hear you. I've got you. Every step of the way.
Ready to look and feel incredible? Book your senior session today. Visit LauraEspositoPhotography.com or call 330-704-6473. Your most confident self is waiting.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. So please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute courtesy of Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, serving our community with dependability and excellence. For all of your residential and light commercial remodeling needs, call the professionals at 330-763-0089. 330-763-0089. Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, reminding everyone to hire smart, hire a vet.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back on the fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show here on 1310 WDPN. Don't forget to join us at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn-off going on right now at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I forgot to mention inflatables for the kids. Nothing like an inflatable, man, especially when you're in that age group. Inflatables are awesome. They really, really are. We, my wife and I, we actually messed around with that business for about 2.5 years. We actually had our own company. And you never know if things are going to work or not. And I think just because of the area and the weather, there's just not enough of an opportunity to really do well, if you know what I mean. Like, you could probably break even, but that wasn't the idea, okay? And we had it for about 2.5 years, and we did some events. We had stuff at schools. We had festivals. We had people had backyard parties, birthday parties, this and that. But we eventually, after about 2.5 years, we kind of stepped away from it, and we sold off the ones that we had 1, 2, 3. We had about 7 of them. We had 7. We had bounce houses. We had a humongous monster slide where you could just in the summertime get out there and put the hose on, and it was like you would fly off that thing. It was pretty cool. But we had some fun with that. But when you're little, inflatables, jumping around, having fun, there's nothing like it. And those are also a big part of the ribs burn-off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay, I got a question for you. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if I'm being fooled, if I'm being scammed. I don't know. But on my phone, on TikTok, a lot of videos and a lot of still photos have been popping up about a possible reboot of 2.5 Men. Is this true? I would like to know. Does anybody have any information out there? They're calling it 2.5 Men Back to Malibu. And I guess it would start in 2026. But you know what? With AI and all the stuff that goes on nowadays, I don't know whether to believe any of this stuff or not. I really don't. I don't want to get hooked in here and then be disappointed. I absolutely thought that show was outstanding. I really thought it was really good. Now, you'd probably have to make some changes. Berta, the housekeeper, unfortunately has passed away. John Cryer is still going. Charlie Sheen is still going. Angus McIntosh is obviously still going. He's still very young. But I've seen a lot of stuff today, and a lot of people have been commenting and sharing, and so I don't know if this is baloney or not. I'm hoping it isn't. And Ryan and I were talking during the break. You know, sometimes you just let shows go, like they run their course, and you enjoy it for what it was, and you just you move on. But that one ended so abruptly with all the problems that Charlie Sheen was having, and contracts, and David Laurie, I think was the producer director of that show. So I don't know, but help me out. Is this a bunch of nonsense, or are they really going to reboot and bring back 2.5 Men back to Malibu? If you know, hit us up, 330-821-1310, or you can drop some comments on our social media platforms, and we will be on the lookout for those. Because I'm telling you, that would make my weekend if 2.5 Men was coming back on a reboot. We'll see. All right, the news is coming up next. We'll get you the weather and a whole lot more. Hang out. 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. President Trump has threatened to impose a tariff of at least 25% on Apple iPhones not manufactured in the United States. The president issued a warning to Apple CEO Tim Cook, saying iPhones sold in the U.S. must be manufactured domestically or face a tariff of at least 25%. The announcement comes amidst escalating trade tensions between the U.S. and various countries, including China, where the majority of Apple's iPhone production currently takes place. The company has shifted some of its production to India due to the country's more favorable trade relationship. Cook and the president met at the White House Tuesday. Apple's also announced plans to invest $500 billion in U.S. development, including the production of AI servers in Houston. In addition to the tariff threat on Apple, Trump also called for a 50% tariff on products imported from the European Union. The president offered friendly advice to Britain, suggesting the country's astronomical energy bills might come down if the government increases supply of cost-effective oil rather than trying to block new extraction. Consumers and businesses in the UK pay some of the highest energy prices in the world. Praising the trade deal minute earlier this month, Trump said, "I strongly recommended them. However, in order to get their energy costs down, they stopped with the costly and unsightly windmills and incentivized modern drilling in the North Sea." The U.S. has turned from an energy importer to an exporter recently through the use of shale gas. The UK also has these resources, but is so ideologically opposed to running the energy grid on gas, recently filled a few test wells with cement. Many economists forecast the president's imposition of tariffs would, by driving up the cost of imports, revive inflation. Most recent data indicate the rate of price increases has remained subdued. Since April, the president has entered into trade negotiations with several countries, including a deal with China May 12th to temporarily reduce tariffs. The impact also a function of how reliant America is on imports. May 19th report by Bart Hoban and Fernanda Necchio, analysts at the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, calculated imports amounted to only about 14% of U.S. GDP in 2024. Massachusetts State Auditor Diana DeZoglio says the state's Democratic governor relied on unlawful no-bid contracts, some to political allies, to fund her free housing program for migrants. The report released Tuesday claims Maura Healey dispensed with the proper competitive bidding process, mismanaged contracts, and did not keep proper records. The auditor alleges the lack of transparency and lack of administrative oversight led to massive waste in funding the migrant shelters. Man accused of killing 2 Israeli embassy staff flaunted his support for Hamas online and attended Black Lives Matter protests. 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez was arrested after shooting Israeli embassy staff members Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram as they left a reception near Washington's Jewish Museum Wednesday. Thursday, Rodriguez was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, murder of foreign officials, causing death with a firearm, and discharging a firearm in a crime of violence. According to an FBI affidavit, Rodriguez was captured on security cameras walking past the couple before turning and shooting them from behind. He eventually fired nearly 24 rounds. 53 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Keep the umbrella handy for this afternoon. Showers and a high near 54. For the overnight, cloudy skies. The threat of showers will linger on, the low of 45. Clouds will hang around for Friday with a chance of afternoon showers, a high reaching 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Are you looking to send flowers to someone special? Let DeHoff's Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping take the hassle out of this beautiful gesture for you. When you order online through national flower dealers, you lose 20 to 30% of your money because it goes to the middleman. Get more bloom for your buck and order from DeHoff's. They'll deliver. It's true, when you skip the middleman, all your money goes towards the flowers, and that makes everyone happy. Well, except the middleman. Locally owned and operated, the experts at DeHoff's have over 61 years of professional knowledge and experience, and they'll be happy to design the perfect arrangement for all the events in your life. So remember, DeHoffs.com, and you'll always get more bloom for your buck. In Alliance on the corner of Beach and Beechwood, you can order by phone too at 330-823-1455.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back here on the Sam Bourquin program. Early start to you Memorial Day weekend. Hope it is a great holiday weekend and a safe holiday weekend for you and yours. And don't forget, make sure you get on over to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. It will run today through Sunday night. So head on over and check out all the great food, the drinks, the musical acts, the inflatables, the fun, and a whole lot more. That's at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off going on now until Sunday. Want to remind everybody, high school baseball talk today at 4:45. We'll check in with Zach Zelmer, the head baseball coach of the Bulldogs of Canton McKinley. They're having a very nice year. I believe they've got 15 wins on the year, one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. We'll check in with Coach Zach Zelmer at about 4:45. 5:10 today, it's Jackson Polar Bear baseball talk with Billy Gamble. That'll be coming up at 5:10 today as the Polar Bears again are having one incredible season. Guardians, a nice 7-0 win last night over the Tigers. Game 2 tonight in Detroit, and we thought we'd check in with Stephen Vogt. This is courtesy of CLE Guardians TV last night after a 7-0 shutout for the good guys.
Is that the best you've ever seen Tanner Bybee?
It has to be right there. Even just right from the beginning, he had everything working. The four-seam, credit to him and the pitching group. His delivery tonight was the best it's been all year, and then you see the results. And made a little adjustment, and he had everything working. And he and Bo, the sequences, the unpredictability, it was a really special outing by Tanner.
You talk about his off-speed pitches, to change up the curve that we saw with unusual.
Yeah, he's got 5 weapons, and he needs and he was able to do that tonight. The changeup, that's the best the changeup's been all year, best the curveball's been all year. He really didn't need the sweeper as often as he has, and he threw some really good sinkers, got a couple strikeouts looking with the sinker. So just overall, all 5 weapons, that's what a big time pitcher does when they have all their weapons.
When you go to Cade Smith in that situation, when the bases are loaded, nobody's out, what's the best result in your mind that you can get?
Even if you get out of there, get them scoring 2 runs, you're pleased. And and Cade just goes and does what he did. I mean, it's unbelievable what these bullpen guys continue to do. On a night where Timmy was a little off, didn't quite have it, we had a couple miscues, and Cade came in and picked us up. And that's what good bullpen guys do. That's what our guys have done. They do it all the time. They pick each other up. So, and then for the offense to just come out, put some pressure on them, get the leadoff guy on, and then see what happens.
What's Cade's demeanor when he gets to the mound there?
The same exactly as it is, no matter what. It's Cade is so prepared for any situation. He's confident. He knows what his job is to come in and stop it, and he does that better than anybody else in the league.
I was going to say about Angel, he's shown that he's a really good low ball hitter, but that home run was a pitch that was up. Just what does that say about where he's at right now?
To me, with Angel, he can hit off speed. That was the best swing I've ever seen him take on a fastball at the top of the zone. You could see he made an adjustment. He saw how they were pitching him. So, and then what did he do? He earned himself an off-speed pitch out over, and he hits a double the other way. So that was one of the best nights I've seen Angel have, and played great defense at second base, great defense in center field when we need him to. And Angel's just really playing well.
I think that like Tanner man in the first inning. I feel like that kind of got lost in the shuffle.
No doubt. Tanner takes a lot of pride in his defense, controlling the running game, as well as his pitching. And so we like to give him a hard time whenever he makes a defensive play, and the dugout was going nuts. That was an unbelievable play on a wet ball, off-balance throw, just really athletic.
What'd you see from Flaherty?
I mean, the same thing we see all the time. He's living at the bottom of the zone. He had the backdoor spin working really well. Good mix, a lot of changeups. But we were fortunate to get some walks, and Carlos hit that double, and, Jose got us going. So, and Angel's homer, that's what you have to do against those guys. When they make a mistake, we can't miss it. And our guys did a good job of that tonight.
With Cade kind of struggled in Wednesday in the first game against the Twins. Any hesitation about going to them?
Absolutely not. They're gonna have good games. They're gonna have games where they give up runs, but they're the best pitchers in the world, and we trust them to go take the ball. And even yesterday, was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. It's a long time ago, Lindsay. Yesterday, Cade's command was just his command was off a little bit. Make some adjustments today, and you get what you saw.
You guys getting used to playing in this rain?
It's unbelievable. It's following us everywhere right now. We're on a nice little run.
So what have you thought of what you've gotten to see out of Cade Smith this season?
This is great. Everybody know. Everybody know this season is fast. Season is good, but for me, I got blessed. I got blessed for God gave me all the opportunity to stay here. So I'm excited. I'm excited for my career, 15 years in the league. So I'm excited. Happy for me.
Could you ever imagine that when you came? Do you remember your debut and what you thought?
Oh, yes. I remember my first run. This is my second game in the league. So, yes, he's fast. He's fast, but this is what I'm making saying. I'm blessed. I'm very proud. To me, I'm very dedicated, and me and my family support me. So, so I'm excited.
When you're double today, we know Flaherty keeps the ball low. I was off, but he pitched up. Were you looking for that? And did that help?
No, I'm not looking for that. I try to making good contact and try to making run. This is what I come into the ballpark every day to prepare my body, my swing, everything. So when you have that, everything is positive.
Have you just felt like as May has gone on, you've gotten to a good, better place at the plate progressively?
Experience. When you had experience, especially for me, I'm playing for a long time in the league. I know how the season have first half, second half. Sometimes you start slow and you finish good. So, this is what I'm making saying, like preparing every day, try to enjoy my time with my teammates, try to enjoy my game. I think this is in my mentally right now. So, I don't know how many years we would I play, but I'm thinking one day at a time. This is thinking every day, one day at a time. Try to enjoy my time, my game, my teammate, and try to win and help to my team the more we can.
All right, there was a little double score there for you, courtesy of a CLE Guardians TV. You heard from Stephen Vogt after the Tigers game last night, 7-0 win for the Guardians, and then you heard a little bit from Carlos Santana. Well, not good news here for Ben Lively. Just got this update while we were playing that interview for you. Man alive. I'm going to read this verbatim right off the release sent by the Cleveland Guardians, okay? Earlier this week, Ben Lively sought a second opinion on his right injured elbow with Dr. Keith Meister in Arlington, Texas. Dr. Meister confirmed the presence of a flexor tendon injury while also noting medial elbow joint laxity due to an insufficient ulnar collateral ligament. If you can understand what that means, good for you. Both team physicians and Dr. Meister believe that the joint laxity is placing added stress on the flexor muscles and have recommended UCL reconstruction surgery, along with flexor tendon repair. No surgical date has been set, but it is expected in the coming days with Dr. Meister. Return to play timeframes for Ben Lively in similar cases are 12 to 16 months. You have got to be kidding me. Ben Lively going to have reconstructive surgery and flexor tendon repair. And it's going to be a 12 to 16 month process. This just coming down the wire from the Cleveland Guardians. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, next person up, I guess. They can't catch a break. And here's one of the underlying, how do I say this without underlying? This is one of the underlying issues when you are a small market team. When you lose a guy, you have to replace that guy. Or you have to go out and trade for somebody, or just go out on the market and say, hey, let's pick up so-and-so. No, money is not an issue. Let's just go get them. When you're the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Angels, when you have some trouble, you can fix it with money. You can fix it with money. Or you are already so loaded with your depth because you've got all this extra money to spend, it's easier for you to go plug and play. Not so with the Guardians, not so with the A's, not so with the Rays, not so with the Pirates or some other teams in the similar financial situation as the Cleveland Guardians. So now they've got to go down to AAA, AA, whatever. That's just one of the issues. Like sometimes you can, and I'm not saying it's the greatest way to go, but sometimes it's a little bit easier. Just throw a bucket of cash somewhere and you can get over the fact that you had an injury to a key player. And when you have an injury to a person in your rotation, that is a key player. So Ben Lively is going to have surgery, and he could be on the shelf for the next 12 to 16 weeks. Boy, you certainly don't like to see that. You don't like to see that at all. Tigers will host our Guardians tonight at Comerica Park. Cleveland comes in 37. Check it. I wish. They're 27-22, and the Tigers come in at 33-18. So not good news there if you're a Guardians fan. All right, it is a fill-in-the-blank Friday, and today's question is, it's a fun one. Good responses today. Keep them coming in. Not many people know but your hidden talent is blank. A lot of people might not know, but your hidden talent is blank. What is your hidden talent? What is it? Singing? Playing an instrument? Comedy? Acting? Maybe you can just do stuff that a lot of us can't. What's your hidden talent? That's our fill in the blank Friday. 330-821-1310. You can text it in. You can text in your hidden talent. Who would have thought you could do that 15, 20 years ago? What's your hidden talent? 330-924-7088. I bet Rainsburg has a hidden talent.
Maybe I have lots of hidden talent.
I bet you have a hidden talent. I'm gonna guess one. See if I'm right.
Okay.
I'm going to say one of your hidden talents is opera.
Opera. Singing is definitely one of my hidden talents. I don't know if I have operatic range. That's high praise.
Oh, so you can sing. You can belt out some tunes.
I like singing. I did choir for like 6 years.
See, I knew that. I remember you saying that.
Yep. Coach,
So-
we were talking about instruments, and I said, yeah, I didn't play instruments because I did choir.
Right.
Yep.
So what's your I know we had the go-to karaoke the other day, but like what are you like really comfortable with singing? What do you like to sing? What are you really good at? Like what kind of genre, what kind of music, what would that entail?
More R&B, more slow jams, a little bit of
No kidding.
Yeah. I like R&B music a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Wow. So who now I'm just going to keep digging here. Give me about 2 or 3 artists that you could bust out a couple of tunes.
I'm not gonna bust out any tunes, but I do like plenty of Chris Brown music.
Okay.
Black Bear is a less known artist, but he's probably my favorite artist. I like almost every one of his albums.
Black Bear. What was the first big song for Black Bear? I know they played it across the hall all the time.
It was probably Do Re Mi, because I think it had Gucci in it. Who did it have in it?
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up, but I remember he got a really big artist to be in Do Re Mi, and that one got pretty popular.
Okay.
And then he was in a song. He was in a couple songs with MGK that I wasn't really a fan of, but that's a very different style of music.
Chris Brown, Black Bear. What about? See, you're not old enough to, but you've heard of groups like.
I'm familiar with the old school
Silk,
stuff, like the Boys
Silk,
to Men,
Jodeci.
Yeah, Jodeci,
stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's more of my my game right there. Well, good stuff, man. I was almost right, but I said opera. What the?
No, that's way too complicated.
My man's into the slow jams over there.
Yeah.
I
like the calm music, chill out music.
You know, one day coming up when we start to get all of our T's crossed and our I's dotted with all the stuff we're doing here with the show, and we're bringing new stuff in, whether you notice it or not. Every day, it could be on your computer, it could be over the air, it could be on the stream. We got a lot of cool stuff. Like right now, the background on the YouTube channel is fantastic.
Thank you.
It's
I like
an
that
exploding firework. I
like that one a lot. I feel like that's good for Friday.
I really like that. But we've got a lot of stuff in the works. We just have to implement them kind of as we go. And one of these days, when we get our bumper music in, like full go, and I'll take responsibility for all of that. We'll be bumping back in from commercials and going into commercials. We're gonna do a slow jam day one day. You know, I'm not gonna ask you to sing, but I'm gonna have a lot of your favorite artists on that particular day.
Okay,
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I'll curate a playlist. Get some slow jams together.
I love it. All right, we got about 7 minutes until we get to the top of the hour. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. This is a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show, only on AM 1310 WDPN. And don't forget, you can watch and listen and get involved on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. Stay where you are.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. So please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute courtesy of Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, serving our community with dependability and excellence. For all of your residential and light commercial remodeling needs, call the professionals at 330-763-0089. 330-763-0089. Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, reminding everyone to hire smart, hire a vet.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the program on a fill-in-the-blank Friday. What is your hidden talent? Our fill-in-the-blank Friday today. A lot of people might not know, but your hidden talent is blank. Got a couple more to add to the list. Eric Snodgrass says spelling is his hidden talent. Michael says mowing the yard in record time when I have to. All right, Michael, good job. Arnett says his his hidden talent is singing at a high pitch. Okay.
I'm with that
That's
guy.
not easy to do.
I'm with that guy.
Arnett, thanks for listening in. I'm trying to think if I have a hidden talent. See, I would love to be able to sing, but I can't. I would love to be able to play. We were talking about this the other day. I would love to be able to play an instrument, a couple of musical instruments. I can't. I would love to be good at golf. I'm not. Comedy, no. Like, I would love to be able to do stand-up for like 10, 15 minutes, just like Chris Rock is like one of my all-time favorite comedians. And I would just love to be able to go up on stage. I don't care if it's in front of 20 people or 15,000 and just watch them and make them laugh. I think that would be awesome. I can't do that. What the hell can I do? I mean, seriously.
Radio. You do radio well.
Well, thank you, I guess.
No, that was a compliment.
Would that be a hidden talent, though?
Well, it's not hidden.
It's not. Well,
It's not a hidden
I guess it
talent.
wouldn't be hidden.
It is a talent.
It may have been a hidden talent when I was like 5 or 6 or 7, because I do what I wanted to do when I got to this age or whatever. So I guess it was kind of there, but just something off the board. I wish And I guess for hidden talent, you got to kind of have to work at it, I guess, in secret. And all of a sudden, one day, hey, guess what I can do? And you just blow people away. They're like, wow, that's pretty cool. I played sports for a long time. I guess that's not really a hidden talent anymore. I'm going to have to figure it out. You know what I'm going to do? During the break here at the top of the hour, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take a little walk on the property, and I'm going to try to figure out if I actually have some sort of a hidden talent. And if I cannot come up with one, then I'm not coming back in.
Wait.
So if I'm not back here by 4:10, I'm not coming back. I will be out roaming in the fields here off of Beeson Street. So you'll have to send somebody out to go. You know what? One of my hidden talents is getting lost.
Ooh.
Would you believe I've been here now, about a month?
Give or take.
I still go down the wrong hallway sometimes to go into a different office or to go back into the lot. Oh, yeah. I did it yesterday. I was supposed to, somebody was kind of rapping on the window. Hey, come in here real quick. And I was like, okay, I'll be right there. And I walked right by it, and I went into a different door, and nobody was there. And I walked in the door I was supposed to walk in, and they're all just sitting in there cackling and laughing. That's one of my hidden talents, getting lost all the time. I need a GPS just to walk around the house. Is that a hidden talent, or is that something else? I'm not sure. News and weather. It's all coming up as we get you ready for your big Memorial Day holiday weekend. Don't forget the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Festival. The Ribs Burn-Off is going on right now until Sunday night. So we'd love to see you there at some point coming up this weekend. Guardians and Tigers continue their big series. We're going to check in with McKinley baseball coach Zach Zelmer and Billy Gamble from Jackson coming up here a little bit later on. But right now, the news is next right here on 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. What retailers pay for eggs wholesale is down about $1 to $2.92 per dozen last week, says the Agriculture Department, citing reduced demand. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from ordering Harvard University not to admit foreign students. The university is suing, calling it a blatant violation of the First Amendment, due process clause, among other things. The president at the White House.
They have $52 billion as an endowment. They have $52 billion. And this country is paying billions and billions of dollars and then gives student loans and they have to pay back the loans. So Harvard's going to have to change its ways.
Wall Street's major indexes are sharply lower after President Trump threatened a 50% tax on all imports from the European Union and a 25% tariff on Apple products unless iPhones are made in America. Treatment for a brain fluid buildup disorder has Billy Joel canceling concerts. This is ABC News.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Jackson Township Police investigating a fatal two-vehicle crash. It happened around 10:45 Thursday morning at Wales Avenue and Strasser Street Northwest. Police say the crash involved 3 people. One was taken to Mercy Hospital. Another was treated and released at the scene. The name of the victim has not been released. The Alliance City Health Department has been awarded national accreditation status. Health Commissioner Randy Flint says the department received notification from the Public Health Accreditation Board and is good for 5 years. Flint says the process involved evaluation against over 100 standards for areas such as health promotion, disease prevention, emergency preparedness, and community engagement. Flint announced his retirement in December. His last day will be June 30th. He served as commissioner since 1984. Randall Ruskowski will start work June 3rd. The treasurer of the Carrollton Exempted Village School District has pleaded not guilty to charges of taking money from her employer. 50-year-old Amy Spears of Carrollton entered a written plea Thursday in Common Pleas Court to charges of theft in office and tampering with records. She was indicted earlier this month. The Board of Education placed her on unpaid leave May 13th and agreed to consider firing her. Spears allegedly took more than $27,000 in district funds over 2 years starting in October 2022. Investigators say Spears created fraudulent Ashland University student account statements and reimbursement documents. New superintendent will soon be in place in the Lake Local School District. The Board of Education expected to hire Brett Yeagley during a special meeting Saturday. He's served as superintendent of the Canton Local School District since 2021. Yeagley would replace Kevin Tobin, who plans to retire August 1st. Yeagley, a graduate of Malone University, the American College of Education, and Concordia University. Breeze Airways has resumed service from Akron Canton Airport to Los Angeles. Seasonal nonstop flights began Thursday with one-way fares starting at $119. Breeze announced earlier this month it will begin service from CAK to 6 new destinations in Florida and North Carolina this fall. A substitute teacher in the Columbiana County Educational Service Center faces charges of pandering, obscenity, and drug paraphernalia. 42-year-old John McFarland of Lisbon was arrested by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force following an investigation. He allegedly sent a video showing a male juvenile engaged in sexual conduct through social media in October 2022. McFarland also accused of emailing 9 videos depicting minors taking part in sex acts. Authorities reportedly found him in possession of several videos showing children being sexually assaulted or engaging in sexual activity. McFarland was arraigned Thursday in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He's been suspended by the ESC. Fire in an East Side Youngstown home called suspicious. Firefighters were called to a home on Ridley Avenue just after 1 a.m. Friday. WFMJ-TV reports the structure was fully involved when crews arrived. Building collapsed about 45 minutes later. Power lines were reportedly sparking, but gas service was not connected. The home was abandoned. The cause of the blaze is under investigation. No one was hurt. Toledo man sentenced to 4 to 6 years in prison for a November 15th assault at an Austintown business. 32-year-old Nathaniel Freibarger was handed the punishment Wednesday by Mahoning County Judge Anthony D'Onofrio. Pleaded guilty to 2 counts of kidnapping as well as 1 count each of felonious assault and aggravated robbery. Freibarger pulled a knife on a man at a Mahoning Avenue address and demanded money and a PIN number after the victim said he was not carrying cash. The victim sustained minor injuries. National Transportation Safety Board Wednesday released a report on the deadly natural gas explosion in Youngstown a year ago. According to WKBN-TV, the 54 document showed multiple mistakes made before the blast that killed 1 man. Third-party workers cut into an active gas line under the sidewalk of the building. The meter for the line had been removed in 2008. Investigators had no record of a work order to locate and turn off the gas at the curb. The report noted there were no discussions about the existing gas pipe in the basement. Youngstown Deputy Director of Public Works Chuck Shasho said he saw there was not a meter attached and assumed the line was not active. New federal charges filed against a Brookfield man convicted in 2019 of downloading child sexual abuse material. Daniel Sharmer charged with receipt and distribution of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct and possession of child pornography. He was ordered held in federal custody last week. A search of his house in January showed Sharmer downloaded over 30,000 files of child sexual abuse material. Investigators said it was the second most in the state at the time. Sharmer was serving 5 years probation for the previous conviction in Trumbull County Court. 52 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Since 1996, Kale's Auto Repair Service, Cars with a K, has been the trusted auto repair shop in Alliance. With over 80 years of experience in Stark and Mahoning County, their team provides high-quality auto care and customer service. They offer a range of services from preventative maintenance to engine repair, AC service, and more. The shop features 10 bays, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and mechanics ready to get your car on the road again. They accept all makes and models, ensuring top-notch service for every vehicle. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 p.m. and Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. Schedule your appointment today by calling 330-821-3100.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the rest of your Thursday afternoon, showers and a high reaching 54. Showers likely for the overnight, otherwise cloudy, cool, a low around 45. Can't rule out some afternoon showers Friday, cloudy and a high near 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Now the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Yep. There you go.
Blew it
Great
job. Unbelievable job.
But you led this team to the best record in the NBA, the most wins in franchise history. Congratulations. You are the NBA Kia MVP.
Away from the NBA Finals. The MVP is SGA, and Anthony Edwards, despite a 32-point effort, his team down 0-2 now as they head back to Minneapolis.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They really do. They foul all the time. And then, you can't really touch Shea.
That's Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, whining after the Timberwolves lost last night. Before that, courtesy of ESPN TV, Mike Breen of the NBA playoff game last night as the Timberwolves got smoked by the Thunder. And before that, audio courtesy of CLE Guardians TV as Cleveland shut out the Detroit Tigers last night in miserable conditions at Comerica Park by the score of 7-0. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It is hour number 2 here on 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Thanks for listening and watching on our Q92 Radio Facebook page and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Hope you're having a great Friday. It is a fill-in-the-blank Friday, and today's fill-in-the-blank Friday is not many people know, but your hidden talent is blank. Not many people know, but your hidden talent is blank. What is your hidden talent? Let us know on our social media platforms. You can also call in at 330-821-1310. Stick around. Coming up at around 4:45, we're going to be talking some Canton McKinley baseball with the head coach of the Pups, Zach Zelmer, will join us here on the program. And then at 5:10, we'll talk Jackson baseball with Billy Gamble. He's the skipper of the Jackson Polar Bears, so we're certainly looking forward to that. I do want to thank our coaches that came on yesterday. We had phenomenal feedback on the interviews we had yesterday. We talked to the new head boys basketball coach at Louisville, Coach Wirtz. We talked to Hoover baseball coach Brian Ashby, and we talked to Glen Oak baseball coach Ray Frisbee. And we get a lot of great response. So I appreciate everybody people listening and rewatching those interviews on the social media platforms. And I want to thank the coaches personally again for coming on during their busy day yesterday. And shout out to Zach Zelmer and Billy Gamble for taking some time today to come on with us here a little bit later on in the program. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Then we'll roll you back into your unforgettable favorites. It's going to be a interesting weather weekend for the Memorial Holiday weekend. Right now it's like 50-50 clouds, 50-50 sun, but the rain I think is out of here for the weekend. So I got something for you to do. I got a place for you to go check out. The Pro Football Hall of Fame 2025 Ribs Burn-Off. Okay? It's already underway. As a matter of fact, Nicolina from our sister station Q92 is over there. So if you're out and about, stop in, look her up. She'll tell you what's going on. 8 rib vendors are going to be there. All the other great food that you would come to enjoy at a Ribs Burn-Off for a festival. Of course, they got all the great lemonade. They got the pop, the water. They got the drinks. You can grab yourself a beer or something with a little umbrella in it. Now, I know it's not umbrella drinking weather, but you could still do that. There's some great musical talent. There's going to be on the Roto-Rooter music stage all weekend long. So you'll have that. There's a humongous fireworks display coming up Sunday night at 9:30. You've got that. There's inflatables for the kids. There's a lot of stuff going on. And if you get a chance coming out, I will be out there tomorrow from 5 until 8 p.m. And then you can come check me out on Sunday from 12:30 to 4:30 at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ribs Burn-Off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Look for the big Q92 van, and all the great folks will be out there. And we cannot wait to see you. Can't wait to see what you got going on this weekend over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. 330-821-1310. You can also text the program as well at 330-924-7088. So tonight is game 2 of the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. I don't know if they will be able to put the show on that they put on for us the other night, but I'm gonna try to dial that baby in. I'm gonna try to catch it maybe middle third quarter and watch it all the way through. The Knicks at Madison Square Garden tonight again. They are a 5.5-point favorite, and they trail that best-of-7 series 1-0. Tonight is going to be what? Adjustment night, right? Who's going to make the big adjustments? Is it going to be Rick Carlisle, or may it be Tom Thibodeau? Who's going to make the big coaching adjustment tonight? If you're the New York Knicks, I think history tells us you absolutely cannot go down 0-2 and lose both games on your home floor. If you do that, you ain't making it through the series. You're not. If the Knicks tie it up, they go to Indiana. They got a chance to really get back into it. But if you lose the first 2 games at home, ask the Cavs. Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers how that worked out. The Pacers are averaging 117 points a game. The Knicks are averaging 115.8. So, I mean, they're telling you here, this, but what, 235 could be the total tonight? 235, 240. The Pacers are shooting 37% from three-point range. The Knicks, 37%. Free throws, the Knicks at 80%. The Pacers, 79%. See a little trend here? Three-point shooting, really good. The free throw shooting is really good. The Knicks get a few more offensive rebounds. Indiana dishes out a few more assists. Knicks get a couple, about a half a steal more a game. This thing is, I'm looking at this one chart here. Everything's like even. Steals, even. Rebounds, even. Turnovers, even. Three-point shooting, even. Offensive rating, just about a wash. Defensive rating, dead on. 1.115.3 for both. And it was a 3-point game in game one. So that tells you these teams are pretty evenly matched. But I think the Indiana Pacers have a little bit of an edge. They've got that it factor. They have those intangibles. They're tough. And I'm not saying New York's not tough, because they are. You don't play for Tom Thibodeau and not be tough, okay?
The World Wrestling Federation,
but the Pacers just have a way of, they've got that mentality of, hey, do what you want, we'll do what we do, and we'll be on top at the end of the night. And they don't care if they get down early. They don't care if they get a big lead early, they blow it. The other team goes up big. Indiana knows they're going to come back. Well, you got Tyrese Halliburton, you got Neesmith, you got Nembhard, you got TJ O'Connell. Like I said, this team, Turner, this team's got some players, man. They really, really do. Little old Indianapolis, the small market Pacers. Take your hat off to Rick Carlisle. You know, the more games that I watch in the playoffs now, and we get further and further away from what happened with the Cavs in round 2, man, I think we're a little bit further away than maybe we thought. I really believe that. I mean, look at the East. Indiana, New York, Cleveland. Now, Boston's going to have a completely different look because of the salary cap, so they're not going to look the way they have looked the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. Milwaukee, I don't know what's going on there. Detroit is so much better. Now, eventually, they will get to their ceiling with J.B. Bickerstaff, and they won't go any further. They'll have to bring somebody in to take them over the next hump. But, like, Chicago is going to be better. I don't know what's going on in Philly. I mean, the East can be had, but for me, the Cavaliers could only get to, like, here. You need to get here. And when you play like New York, when you play like Indiana, they're better. They're tougher. I think Detroit might be tougher than the Cavs. And I've been seeing some stuff thrown around on the internet about, hey, we got to move. You got to trade Jared Allen. You got to get rid of Isaac Okoro. There's no reason to bring back Sam Merrill. There's no reason to bring back Ty Jerome because of the second apron and how the finances work out. And basically, if you bring Sam Merrill and Ty Jerome back, it's like another 65, 70, 80 million on the salary. Okay. Luxury tax. Nah, you can't do that. I don't think you bring Tristan Thompson back. This you could have 5 or 6 new faces on this team next year. And if somebody wanted to call me about Isaac Okoro, if somebody wanted to call me about Jared Allen, I would pick that phone up real quick. I think Jared Allen is very talented. He's kind of a wiry guy, can make things happen.
Everything in these boardrooms and negotiations
He's not tough enough. He's not mean enough. There's no mean streak in there. He just isn't. Contract is it's a good contract. It's a tradable contract. Like,
well,
you're not stuck. Like, that's a movable contract. What you get back in return, I don't know. But Isaac Okoro, forget about it. I've seen enough. I love Sam Merrill. I love Ty Jerome, but I can't bring those guys back with that salary stuff, with the second apron and going into the tax. I can't do that. I can't do it. Tristan Thompson, I've seen enough. Well, he's good for the camaraderie. Well, that doesn't get you. Look, if that's the kind of camaraderie that doesn't get you out of the second round, I'm not interested. Need to move on from Double T. We're going to have to make some changes. But I don't know what the Cavaliers are going to be able to do because they're financially pinched by these goofy salary rules in the NBA. And some of it's their own fault. I'm not absolving them from that. Some of it's their own fault. But some of it, it's like, geez, really? We're getting penalized because of, hey, we got a pretty good A, B, and C nucleus, and now you're making it real hard for us to round out the rest of our roster with some other big-time players. But that's just the way the NBA is. You could see a real different team. The more I watch New York and Indiana, man, the less I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers are ready to take the next step to a conference final. That's just how I feel today. After I watch the NBA Finals, I might even feel worse, because then you're going to see the cream of the crop, and then you really see maybe how far away you are from getting to where you want to go. 23 minutes after the hour, we'll step away. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can text the show anytime on the WDPN text line at 330-924-7088. It's a fill-in-the-blank Friday here on the Sam Bourquin program. Happy early Memorial Day, everybody. We'll be back on 1310 WDPN.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent. Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent. Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10,
present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday and you're off to a tremendous holiday weekend with the Memorial Day holiday coming up. If you're out and about this weekend, be safe. Be careful. Don't do stuff that you shouldn't do. Don't be out there breaking any laws, but have a good time. And we'll hope to see you all back here on Tuesday as you start your day at 6 a.m. with Rex in the morning, followed by John Tesh from 10 until 3. And then the Sam Bourquin program takes you home from 3 until 6, Monday through Friday right here on 1310 WDPN, and, of course, streaming live all over our nation at AM1310WDPN.com. All right, I'm still looking for some confirmation. If you're out there, help me out. I know we got a new listening audience here as we've moved into another hour of programming here. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet that 2.5 Men is coming back. Is this true or is this nonsense? I love that show, and I don't want to get my hopes up and be disappointed. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook, TikTok. It's 2.5 Men, 2026, back to Malibu. Charlie Harper, John Cryer. Is this a bunch of BS, or is this really happening?
It wouldn't surprise me, Sam. That is very much the trend nowadays.
That it's BS?
No, that it's true.
Oh, you think it's true?
I can see it. It would. I'm not saying it's true, but it would not surprise me if it was. I love it.
I've been trying to do some digging, and I just don't know what to believe.
No, me neither.
But if anybody knows, let us know. Call, text, carrier pigeon, whatever. I need to know, because that would make my weekend if 2.5 Men was back. And I know you'd have to make some changes because some of the original characters wouldn't be there due to, well, they're not around anymore. But it says, no lies. We are back. Nobody saw this coming. I don't know, man. I'm getting excited about it, and I don't know if it's the real deal or not. So if anybody really knows the truth out there, let us know.
Yes.
Is 2.5 Men coming back or not?
Charlie Sheen, if you're listening, let us know.
You know, I got a little story. I won't get into it now because we don't have enough time. 2016 World Series, Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. I got to hang out with Charlie Sheen. I did. I'll tell you about that coming up here a little bit later on. All right, we got the news and weather coming up. We'll be talking McKinley baseball, Jackson baseball, and a whole lot more here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us. It's a fill-in-the-blank Friday on 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Department of Homeland Security revokes certification of Harvard's foreign student admissions program. The decision prohibits the school from enrolling international students through its student and exchange visitor program. The statement said a combination of infractions, including collaborating with the Chinese Communist Party and fostering an atmosphere of pro-terrorist conduct from its students on its campus, led to the action. Campus has seen a large increase in anti-Semitism and protests since Hamas' attack on Israel in October 2023. U.S. Supreme Court voted 4-4 to reject authorization for the nation's first publicly funded religious charter school. Justice Amy Coney Barrett recused herself. How the individual justices voted was not disclosed. School's St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School, a K-12 institution in Oklahoma City, approved by the statewide charter school board. Oklahoma's Attorney General Gentner Drummond argued not revoking the authorization would lead the state receiving funding requests from extreme sects of the Muslim faith to establish a taxpayer-funded public charter school teaching Sharia law. Father of the terror suspect accused of gunning down 2 Israeli embassy staffers was honored by a member of Congress with an invitation to President Trump's joint address in March. Illinois Representative Jesus Chuy Garcia said Thursday night Eric Rodriguez was our guest during the president's speech, but we don't know his family. In March, he hailed the elder Rodriguez as an outspoken advocate against attacks on veterans' services and the rights of unionized federal employees. Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan can be seen on surveillance footage from inside a Wisconsin courthouse showing her helping an illegal alien evade arrest. The FBI arrested Dugan last month for allegedly helping 30-year-old Eduardo Flores Ruiz of Mexico evade ICE agents by purposefully misdirecting them from Ruiz. He has a violent criminal record, including charges for strangulation and suffocation, battery, and domestic abuse, and twice illegally crossed the southern border. Prominent music agent Dave Shapiro among those killed after a small plane crashed in San Diego. Shapiro, the co-founder of Sound Talent Group, whose clients include rock bands like Sum 41. Crash destroyed 1 home and damaged 10 others in the Murphy Canyon neighborhood, leaving charred cars and fiery debris. Federal officials say there were 6 people on board. All are presumed dead. Shapiro was an avid pilot and certified flight instructor. Sound Talent Group said it lost 3 employees in the crash, including Shapiro. It did not identify the others. U.S. Treasury announced yesterday it would stop issuing new pennies. The Mint has already placed its final order for penny blanks, the metal discs used to create coins, and will continue minting until that supply runs out, likely early next year. Consumers can continue using existing pennies, but as circulation declines, banks and retailers will likely round cash transactions to the nearest nickel. Digital payments will remain unaffected. Each penny costs about 3.7 cents to produce, resulting in an $85 million loss in 2024. Treasury officials estimate the move will save $56 million annually in materials and manufacturing. 52 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For what's left of your Thursday afternoon, rain and a high of 54. Showers likely tonight, otherwise cloudy and cool, a low of 45. A chance for afternoon showers Friday, cloudy and a high reaching 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car, and there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope your weekend is off to a great start, your holiday weekend. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. You can also text the program anytime at 330-924-7088. We will be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. And then, hey, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all the activities. Stay safe. And we'll see you back here on Tuesday on 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, we're going to be talking some Canton McKinley baseball. Zach Zelmer, head coach of the Pups, is going to be joining us at around 4:45. So that's in about 10 minutes from now. Now I got another reason to get home even faster tonight after work. Now, everybody, I'm going home to mow. I'm going to get the grass mowed tonight. I don't care if it's still dark. I'm going to get it done. I just found out we are having a food truck in our allotment tonight in the neighborhood that I live in from 5 o'clock until 7. Ooh, look at that. Holy cow. I am going to break the speed limit to get home tonight. So just a heads up to the folks patrolling on 62. Just let me go. I've got to get home quick. I got to get home quick. All right. Yesterday, last night, if you saw, if you did not, we're going to tell you about it. The college football playoff is moving to a straight seeding model. We talked about this with Todd Blackledge on our show a couple of days ago, and by gosh, here it is. I'm going to read verbatim here. College football executives Thursday night approved the change to how teams are seeded in the 12-team field, voting unanimously to place teams based directly on the selection committee's rankings and not by conference championships. In the current structure, the top 4 seeds in the playoff are designated to the highest ranked conference champions. In a straight seeding format, which is what they're going to go to, teams are seeded in the same slot in which they are ranked 1 through 12, with the top 4 seeds earning a bye into the quarterfinals. A lot of stuff went into this. people screaming and hollering that didn't get home field advantage last year, or they had to play a game and they wanted to buy. Also, there's money involved as well. And this is just going to be a precursor to what? To a 16-team playoff. Folks, it's coming. And it's coming quick. I got some good stuff here from Brandon Marcello. He is from CBS HQ. Want to credit them for the audio. And he says this change coming up is going to be just a little bit of test run before more changes are coming.
Well, they kind of just want to test it out, right? I mean, it just seems like they want to test things out year to year. This is a one-year stopgap, right? Because in 2026, they're going to be looking to expand the playoff to 14 teams or 16 teams. Most likely 16 teams will be the answer, with quite a few automatic qualifiers. But the way it stands now, as we saw from last year, we had 12 teams. The 4 highest-ranked conference champions were assured buys. Well, that's no more. Only thing assured in this new seeding for 2025 is the 5 highest-ranked conference champions will be in the playoff, but you'll go in based off of where you're ranked, 1 through 12. Everything.
Now, the future is a big part of this as well, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. Who even knows if the NCAA will be around as they are in another 10 or 15 years. But Brandon Marcello, again, CBS HQ, takes a little look ahead as far as the college football playoff.
Everything in these boardrooms and negotiations have purpose. And for my discussions over the last couple of weeks, when we first broke this story that approval was coming last week, we expected that the ACC and Big 12 were kind of maneuvering here to maybe get some better things down the road for 26 and beyond. Because as I said, the ACC and Big 12 are only going to get 2 automatic qualifiers in the current proposal for 26 and beyond, whereas the Big 10 SEC are get twice as that with 4 apiece. So there's some discussion happening here. Also some financial considerations going forward as well. If the Big 12 and ACC kind of give something up, they want something back in return, and that could happen as soon as we see this year with some financial help, but also in 26 and beyond. In 28.
So speaking of 26 and beyond, again, and this is Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports HQ. He looks ahead to what it might look like even as early as 2028 with the college football playoff.
In 28, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark has been stressing to everybody that there's a look-in with the CFP, and that then they could change the payout structure. So let's say the ACC or the Big 12 have more people in the playoff than they were expecting. Well, then that would demand more money for them in the future starting in 2028. So the ACC and Big 12 know the SEC and Big 10 have the controlling voting power, but they're giving some things up right now to set themselves up, hopefully for them to have more strength and power in the boardrooms in the next coming years.
It's Brandon Marcello from CBS HQ. So, just to take this just a little bit further, officials from the Big 10 of the Southeast Conference, the 2 controlling conferences starting next year, they are supporting a 16-team playoff that features multiple automatic qualifiers per conference. And they're calling the format the 4-4-2-2-1 model. And this is what it does. And you heard this a little bit from Brandon Marcello. It grants the SEC and Big 10 4 automatic qualifiers. Big 12 ACC get 2. Then one bid would go to the highest ranked group of 6 conference champions, and there would be 3 at-large selections. One of those contractually designated for Notre Dame if the Fighting Irish stay inside of the top 16 rankings. So this is not some big shock. This is not some big surprise. But I will tell you this, all the years that we pandered for the playoff, and even to go back a step further, you know what? The bowl games weren't that bad. It was just the number of the bowl games got out of hand. And then they finally passed to have a playoff. The NCAA, in their infinite wisdom, and they thought, you know what? We can make a lot of cash Our TV partners are ready. People have been clamoring for this for a long time. Let's have a college football playoff. And they did, remember? And then they said, okay, what we decide in this room today, we're going to lock this in for 7 years. Okay? You had never done a college football playoff before. But you put it in stone, you put it in cement for 7 years. So you couldn't change it. You couldn't do anything. So what? You're stuck with what you got. And we usually had the same 4 teams were in it almost every year. Like Ohio State was going to be there. Alabama was going to be there. Georgia was going to be there. Clemson was going to be there. Notre Dame snuck in a couple of times. That was about it. Just for the sake of argument, that was about it. So then we had the playoff. We had the 12 teams. Okay, we went from 4 to 12, so you added 8. And then the NCAA said, ooh, look at the spreadsheet after that playoff system. Look at the amount of money that we made off of this college football playoff. If this is what we got when we had 12, can you imagine if we go to 16? Boom. You're going to have 16, and you're probably going to have 16 as soon as 2028. So you went all this time without it. You approved the playoffs. You found out how much money you could make. And now instead of locking this in for 7 years, in another 2 years, it's going to change again. And you're going to expand from 12 to 16. And you're going to make even more money. And unfortunately, you're going to make the regular season a little bit more insignificant. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me. You know, football, NFL, college, the regular seasons meant everything. Like, if you stubbed your toe once, man, you were in trouble. And if you did it twice in college, that was about it. You were about done. You really had to earn your way in. Now you're going to go from 12 to 16 in a couple of years? That's too many. Well, Sam, there's 135 teams and only... Come on. How many of those really teams, how many of those teams that are going to squeak in really have a chance to win it all? And you can come to me with the Cinderella and the team's hot and this and that and the other. That's different than basketball. That's where football separates and makes themselves different. I don't care if you put 50 teams in. Guess who's going to be there at the end? Alabama, Ohio State, which I'm okay with. Clemson, if they get back on track. Notre Dame, Georgia, Texas, maybe USC every once in a while. Maybe one of the Florida schools, Miami, Florida, or Florida State, although they're kind of scuffling a little bit. But I don't care if it's 10 teams, 12, 18, 50. It's going to be the same teams by the time the Final Four rolls around, most likely, unless things really change. I don't know. But they found the cash cow was even fatter than they originally thought it could be. And they said, hey, man, we're not waiting around. We're not waiting around another 5 to 7 years. We're going to expand again, and we're going to do it quickly. Matter of fact, let's do it in 2028. I think that's when you'll see it. I think you'll see a 16-team playoff coming up here then. All right, it is 4:46 here on the Sam Bourquin Show on a Feel Good Friday, a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the program. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. We're trying to catch up with Zach Zelmer, head baseball coach of the Bulldogs of Canton, McKinley. And I got to take a look at I have so many papers up here on this ledge. I'm completely blocked for my producer. But that's the way we got to set it up here. So I'll kind of look over there. How we doing with Zach? We trying to make connection, or I'm not sure. Not sure yet. Okay, here's what we'll do. Let's take a break. All right, we get 4:48. We'll regroup the troops here as we speak, and we'll try to hook up with Coach Zelmer, Canton McKinley baseball, and we'll take this baby up until the top of the hour. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Friday on 1310 WDPN. Stay with us, everybody.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids. I can dance. I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back on this fill-in-the-blank Friday. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Hope you're having a good day. Staying warm, a little chilly out there, but looks like the rain has moved on. And a great opportunity for you this weekend to get on over to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. It is underway now, and it will go until around 9 or 9:30 on Sunday. And we'll be out there hanging out with you today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Come on out and enjoy some great food, drinks, inflatables, music, entertainment, all kinds of good stuff coming up. So we hope to see you out there at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off going on now at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All right, we've been catching up with some area baseball coaches this week. Regular seasons coming to an end or are just about at the end. And you know what that means? The second season is coming up. It's tournament time, and we thought we would check in with the Canton McKinley Bulldogs today. They're having a very nice season, one of the best seasons they've had in quite a while. Let's bring in head coach of the Pups, and it's Zach Zelmer to the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN. Coach Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Sammy. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking the time to come on. I talked to a bunch of coaches yesterday, and I'll talk to one more today, asking everybody how they've been able to maneuver the rain and try to stay sharp and get into some kind of routine. How have you met that challenge this week again?
Well, you know, it's hard, Sam, because it's the first year in the district that we've done this to where, you know, we get a week layoff. You know what I mean? So It's kind of been hard, but you know, we finished up our regular season with Alliance in our senior night on Tuesday. Lost a close ball game to them, but all in all, we've played pretty well. We've been trying to get creative with, you know, doing some board talk, doing some inter squads, getting some things going. Plus, too, not only are you trying to navigate that, but you're navigating the holiday weekend and things like that. So we've been just trying to, you know, get our kids in, keep them active, and get ready for Strongsville here next Wednesday.
So what has this year been like for you? I've been following, and I kept watching the win total go up and up and up and up, and you're competing like crazy in the Federal League. I'm not saying it was an overnight turnaround, because it wasn't, because y'all have been working very, very hard with the program and doing things with Munson and trying to create interest and get people excited about it. But how are you feeling about the McKinley baseball program as we sit here today on this Friday?
Sammy, this year's been as rewarding as I've had in the 22 years I've been doing this. I mean, these guys, we didn't get off to a great start. We had a lot of unknowns. In the preseason, we had a lot of question marks, but these guys have come together. It's a young group. We've got 7 first year. We just had our banquet. So we got 7 first year, letter winners, So we've got it was definitely a young team. We start, a freshman, and we start a couple of sophomores, and, we only start one senior predominantly every day. So it's been a young team, but they played hard all year. Like you said, the Munson project, it's been you can do everything around there, Sammy, and do everything and make it look good, which we have. We have one of the best facilities in the state of Ohio, if not the Midwest. But you want to put a good product in there, and I think that's what we've worked every day to do. And, we're starting to, you think Canton, McKinley, you think football, you think basketball, and we're trying to turn that around and start making people think baseball a little bit.
Well, I think you are, Zach. It's baby steps, the old crawl before you walk kind of deal, but that's really the only way to do it. And you're doing a great job, and the kids are the old thing, they're buying what you're selling. And what's the biggest difference that you've seen, let's just say the last 2 to 3 years, with the kids that come out, beginning with, hey, I want to come out and play baseball, coach, and you have your meetings and you have your tryouts and you get your roster together. What's the biggest difference that you've seen the last couple of years?
I think the biggest difference, Sammy, that we've been able to do the last couple of years that we couldn't do maybe the last decade or so is just the development of our guys. Now with our facilities with Munson, we've got an indoor facility down in Munson with a little weight room in it. The things that we're able to do with our meeting room, the things that we're able to do now with the Bulldog Athletic Center. I think right now the development of our guys, I think we're able to, speed up. And it's no secret, there's, in different, in the Jacksons and the Greens and the Plain Locals of the world, a lot of kids have opportunities that some of our kids may not have growing up when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. But we're able to close that gap when they get to McKinley by just what we're able to do with them development-wise. We're able to get them in the indoor during the winter, get them down here, hitting. We're able to get on the field. If there's a little bit of rain or even a little bit of snow, we're able to get on. We got 2 turf baseball fields down here. So not only does it benefit our varsity guys, but it benefits our freshmen and younger guys coming in. Another thing, Sammy, that's been great with this the last couple of years is we've been able to kind of rejuvenate the Canton City youth baseball program. So now we're up to over 100 kids now playing baseball in the city of Canton. Thanks to Joe Bogdan's leadership on this, we now have a 13, 14-year-old baseball team that is the direct, understudy of our guys here. So it's almost like a middle school baseball team. So we're able to get more kids involved that way. So I think just our numbers are increasing, and I think just the development of our guys has really increased over my time as the head coach here.
That's awesome. Hey, man, numbers are where it's at. You got to have numbers, and then it's up to you guys to kind of nurture and take it from there, and you've done a great job. Zach Zelmer is our guest. He is the head baseball coach of the Bulldogs at Canton McKinley, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. The Pups are 15-11, and I get a little bit of a layoff here now, but they will get ready for Strongsville on the 28th at 5 o'clock in their first tournament game. All right, Zach, tell us about some of the Pups that have been doing it for you offensively, defensively, and maybe intangible-wise for you during this season.
Sure. And, Sammy, we've been led by our pitching staff. There's no doubt about it. Aaron Faber's been a really good starter for us. I mean, he's throwing 70% strikes. He's throwing the best thing about him this year is I think compared to a sophomore year, his secondary stuff's really improved. Change-up, breaking ball. So he's been a 3-pitch guy for us. He's been the anchor at the top of our rotation. He'll be the guy that'll get the ball Wednesday against Strongsville. We've got a senior and Gavin Mullins. He's a left-hander. He's done really well for us. He's started for us. He's relieved for us. He's logged a lot of innings, but he's done a really good job. We've got a sophomore, Mikey Martin, who continues to get better and better and better. His velocity is increasing. He's getting stronger. He's getting bigger. I think he's only 15 years old, but he's going to be something that we've talked about with Mike as a sophomore. He's going to be a problem here. The next couple of years, he's really good, and he's going to give teams fits. His velocity's growing. His number 2 pitch is coming along really well. So those 3 guys have really kind of been the staples for our pitching staff. Then we've had some guys coming out of the bullpen like Brady Altman, Dietrich Daniels, Tanner Ailes have done a great job. Offensively, Mikey Martin's been a great guy at the top of the order for us. He's sitting above 300. He's scoring a ton of runs, getting on base. He's doing a really good job for our guys behind him. Gavin Mullins, a senior that's really hit the ball for us. We have Kenyerbe Boulevard, who hits in our cleanup spot, who drives and runs, hits for power, does a really good job, runs pretty well, plays everywhere on the field for us. He's only a junior, you know what I mean? So a guy that's, kind of led us in that aspect. But, another guy too, Colton Snyder is a sophomore catcher for us, has worked and done extremely well for us, behind the plate as a sophomore. And that's a tough spot to take on as a young guy, especially in the Federal League, but he's done a great job with it.
Coach, I got about a minute and a half, minute 45, and I do want to ask you before we go, you mentioned you've been at this for quite a while, but it sounds to me, just right now as we're talking, it sounds like you're having a great time. Are you having as much fun as you've ever had?
I am. I really am. I said that the other night at our banquet, and I just said, this has been one of the easiest groups of kids I've had to coach. They've worked extremely hard. They've done a great job of becoming a team. And then, Sammy with Munson, we've just got a great setup. We've got a great facility. Like I said, you get to show up to a minor league ballpark every single day. You almost have to pinch yourself a little bit. And like I said, I want to tell our fans, I want to tell our parents, everybody, hey, come out, support these guys. Against Strongsville, we're hosting them in a district semi, and I think it's going to be a great challenge. Strongsville has a great program. We get ultimate respect for them. But it'd be great if we could pull it off here Wednesday night and go up and play Medina on Friday. It'd be awesome.
Well, let's get a little home cooking over at Munson against Strongsville. You McKinley fans and Stark County baseball fans, I'm hoping for good weather that day. Get out there and support the Pups and see if they can pick up a tournament win and keep this baby rolling. Zach, I appreciate you coming on today, man. Have a great holiday weekend and continued success with the Bulldog program. And, of course, best of luck in your tournament game coming up. We'll talk to you down the road.
Okay, hey, Sammy, thanks for all you do. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Zach Zelmer, head baseball coach of the Bulldogs of Canton, McKinley. And if you haven't gone to a McKinley game or you haven't been over to Munson yet, I know a lot of you still haven't gone to check it out. Go see the place. What they have done with that facility, it'll blow your mind. And I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. From the turf fields to the dugouts to the cleaning up of everything, the signage, it's phenomenal. Go check it out. And best of luck to the Bulldogs in their tournament game coming up against Strongsville. We are going to take a break. We are right at the top of the hour. News and weather coming up. One more big hour to go on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Shub Severson. After the Trump administration ordered Harvard University not to admit any foreign students, the school got a federal judge to temporarily block the order. Former Harvard president and former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers tells ABC News that alienating the world's most talented young people would be a strategic gift to China.
And for what? To try to stifle the progress of scientific research?
The university is suing over the Trump order. Wall Street's major indexes closed sharply lower after President Trump threatened a 50% tax on all imports from the European Union and a 25% tariff on smartphones unless they're made in America. Dropping by about $0.50 in the past week, the price retailers pay for eggs to $2.92 per dozen, says the Agriculture Department, citing reduced demand. Ukraine and Russia exchanged hundreds of prisoners even as the bombs dropped today. This is ABC News.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, this sale is going on now. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow Mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle Grow Garden Soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. One person dead following a two-vehicle crash in Jackson Township Thursday morning. Police responded to Wales Avenue and Strasser Street Northwest around 10:45. Officials say 3 people were involved in the wreck. One was treated and released at the scene, while another was transported to Mercy Hospital. Police have not released the name of the victim. An investigation continues. Public Health Accreditation Board has awarded national accreditation status to the Alliance City Health Department. Health Commissioner Randy Flint says the process involved evaluation against over 100 standards for areas such as health promotion, disease prevention, emergency preparedness, and community engagement. Randall Ruskowski will become the new health commissioner June 3rd. Flint announced his retirement in December after 40 years on the job. His last day is June 30th. The accreditation is good for 5 years. Carrollton Exempted Village Board of Education has placed Treasurer Amy Spears on unpaid leave. The board took the action May 13th and agreed to consider firing her. The 50-year-old was placed on paid leave last month. The grand jury indicted her earlier this month on charges of theft in office and tampering with records. Spears entered a written plea of not guilty Thursday in Carroll County Common Pleas Court. She's accused of taking more than $27,000 in district money over 2 years starting in October 2022. Investors say she created fraudulent Ashland University student account statements and reimbursement documents. The Lake Local Board of Education is scheduled to meet for a special session Saturday to hire a new superintendent. They're expected to name Brett Yeagley, who's superintendent of the Canton Local School District. He's led that system since 2021. Yeagley is a graduate of Malone University, the American College of Education, and Concordia University. He would succeed Kevin Tobin, who plans to retire August 1st. Travelers can now see Los Angeles by way of Akron Canton Airport. Breeze Airways resumed seasonal nonstop flights to LA Thursday. They say one-way fares start at $119. Breeze said earlier this month it will begin service this fall from CAK to 6 new destinations in Florida and North Carolina. A Lisbon man has made an initial court appearance following his arrest by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. 42-year-old John McFarland was arraigned Thursday in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He's charged with pandering obscenity and possession of drug paraphernalia. Authorities reportedly found McFarland in possession of several videos showing children being sexually assaulted or engaging in sexual activity. He's also accused of emailing 9 videos depicting minors taking part in sex acts. McFarland was suspended from his position as a substitute teacher for the Columbiana County Educational Service Center. He allegedly sent a video showing a male juvenile engaged in sexual conduct through social media in October 2022. Cause of an East Side Youngstown fire is under investigation. WFMJ TV reports flames broke out in a home on Ridley Avenue just after 1 a.m. today. The structure was fully involved and power lines were reportedly sparking when personnel arrived, but gas service was not connected. The home was abandoned. The building collapsed about 45 minutes later. Investigators are calling the fire suspicious. The assault of a man at an Austintown business lands another man in prison. Mahoning County Judge Anthony D'Onofrio sentenced 32-year-old Nathaniel Freibarger of Toledo to 4 to 6 years behind bars Wednesday. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count each of felonious assault and aggravated robbery. November 15th, Freibarger pulled a knife on a man at a Mahoning Avenue address. He demanded money and a PIN number after the victim said he wasn't carrying cash. The victim suffered minor injuries. Multiple mistakes were highlighted in a report on the deadly natural gas explosion in downtown Youngstown last May. According to WKBN TV, the 54 documents in the report by the National Transportation Safety Board showed investigators had no record of a work order to locate and turn off the gas at the curb. The report noted there were no discussions about the existing gas pipe in the basement. Youngstown Deputy Director of Public Works Chuck Shasho said he saw there was not a meter attached and assumed the line was not active. Third-party workers cut into an active gas line under the sidewalk of the building. The meter for the line had been removed in 2008. A Brookfield man is in federal custody as he awaits a court appearance on charges of receipt and distribution of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct and possession of child pornography, Search of his house in January showed Sharmer downloaded over 30,000 files of child sexual abuse material. Investigators said it was the second most in the state at the time. At that time, Sharmer was serving 5 years probation for a previous conviction. He was found guilty in 2019 of pandering sexually oriented matter in Trumbull County Court. The teen who stabbed a family member last May is awaiting sentencing. A pre-sentencing investigation ordered for 19-year-old Alexis Davis of Fremont. She faces up to 12 years in prison, but Portage County Common Pleas Judge Lori Pittman ordered she be evaluated for alternative programs. Davis pleaded guilty May 14th to felonious assault. She was accused of stabbing a 70-year-old relative twice in the torso with a knife last May. She was committed for a time to North Coast Behavioral Health Care while her case was pending. Unrelated shootings in Warren that left 2 people dead are the focus of ongoing investigations. Police identified the victims Thursday. Officers responding to a 911 call on Monday found 38-year-old Norman Miller dead in a pickup near West Market Street and Southern Boulevard. On May 16th, 22-year-old Jody Hall was discovered dead in a vehicle on its side near the Fairview Gardens apartments. Officers had been called to the area about gunshots. 52 degrees at 5:08. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Going to be calm and in the lower 50s for your afternoon forecast. Looks like a small chance of rain between 6 and 8 p.m. Otherwise, pretty calm. That is your afternoon weather. I'm Ryan Rainsberg.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Yeah, we're back here on the program. We usually have a little open for you, but we want to get right to our special guest and talk a little Jackson Polar Bear baseball. It is that time of the year. It's that time of the year. We bring on Billy Gamble, the skipper of the Jackson Polar Bear baseball team, kind enough to join us here on this Friday afternoon on 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. Coach Billy, how you doing today, partner?
Oh, doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thanks for coming on. Hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend and getting ready for some baseball and some nice weather here, hopefully coming up here in the next couple of days. So, fantastic regular season. And I know you guys play to win league titles and you play to win state championships. But, man, what a great year you've had. Talk about some of the young fellas that have been really stirring the drink for you this year.
Yeah, I think it always starts and with every team, it's can you pitch the ball and can you catch the ball? And, on the bump, we've been able to throw the ball pretty well. And, you saw it with our lefties. I think it starts there with Landon Dahl, Landon Thiel. And then after that, you got some really quality arms, even coming in. Our depth has just been outstanding this year. And Jeffrey Oyster and Stephen Hall, Matt Blaine, Mo Blaine came on the other day. We Landon Thiel got under the weather, and we had to go with a reliever against McKinley. He just goes out and shoves a complete game. So we've just I think those guys have really culminated that room, that pitching room, and has just elevated everybody around them.
Billy Gamble's our guest. He is the skipper of the Jackson Polar Bears. I got you, Coach, at 24-3 as you move into your ball game against Riverside coming up on the 26th. You talked about pitching, and it seems I've talked to some 4 or 5 coaches this week trying to just get a little feel for some of the teams and what they're going to do into the tournament. And almost to a man, everybody has talked about their pitching and not just getting people out. Billy, a lot of teams are in our area this year. A lot of pitchers are throwing strikes. They're taking command. And I know you impressed upon that on your young guys as well, and they seem to be doing it.
You nailed it, man. I mean, I think everybody knows that, if you can throw strikes, you got to have to be able to strike some people out, especially in tournament time. But I think the complementary side of it for us is we're playing really good defense, and that allows our pitchers to go deeper into games because of keeping their pitch count down. I mean, we're fielding 960 something, and that's getting us off the field, right? And that's the end of the day. You want to get off the field because I haven't scored a run yet on defense, so we got to get off the field. And I think that's really been what we talk about in our locker room is that complementary baseball, where defense and pitching have to work together to get off the field so we can go put a crooked number up.
And it's the same old adage in baseball, man. Throw strikes. Don't give teams 4 outs. Don't give them 5 outs. You mentioned just get off the field and get the sticks up there. And, that kind of stuff is contagious. It can work both ways. But when it's humming for you in a positive way, that makes life so much easier, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think, I've jokingly said, our pitching's really covered up, a lot of maybe, coaching blunders or defensive blunders or offensive days where you only show up and get a couple hits a day. But every day, we pack our gloves and we know we're going to pound the zone, and that's going to give us a chance, man. And that's all you want. You want to make that 6th and 7th inning matter. And, this group's really, really gritty and resilient. And I think that shows with our scores. We don't get in there and put a ton of crooked numbers up and blow a lot of people out, but these guys know how to play a full 7 innings. And, when you get deep in the tournament play, that's what matters is can you control the heart rate, and can you, stay in attack mode and execute, when you get to that 5th, 6th, 7th inning.
As you know, your ball club is on quite a run. You started out like a house on fire, a little losing streak of 3 games. You haven't lost since. And you've been playing Mayfield, you've been playing North Burlington, you've been playing St. Ignatius, you've been playing Walsh, you've been playing the top teams in the Federal League. What has been the key for you? You talked about the pitching and timely hitting. What are some of the things maybe that you were maybe a little unsure of coming in that guys have really passed the test?
I think one of the things that we really worked on this whole season and in the preseason and the off season is really, is getting this group to believe in each other and have confidence. And then this game's really about confidence. And some of it is really dealing with failure, and we got with Quebec Gibbons. He's our sports psychologist coach for us. We met once, we'd meet for a couple months leading in to just give them flush techniques, being able to just handle the moment, and things that you hear a lot of the elites talk about and really don't know how to do. And we're really just teaching them techniques on how to keep their heart rate under control so they can execute. And I think that's what you're seeing a little bit more down the stretch with us is if we can control the moment and be the best version of us, in those moments, that's where you can see our best baseball come out. And this group really trusts each other. They love each other. And I think that's been going on in the off season that people, they see between the lines, but they don't see the late nights of hanging out and going for food together and, playing spike ball together and cards and all those type of things, because all that matters when you boil it all down, because it comes down to trust.
No doubt. That's where it all begins. We are talking with Bill Gamble, the outstanding baseball coach of the Jackson Polar Bears, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN. Whitmer, the first tournament game, playoff game coming up on the 28th at 5 p.m. And I mentioned your non-conference schedule that you guys played and did very well. I'm going to tell you what, when you know this better than I, the Federal League this year was a pain in the rear end for just about everybody. I mean, from top to bottom, this league was extra super this year, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that everybody you hear around the state, oh, we got the best league, we got the best league, we got the best league. And there's some outstanding leagues and conferences out there. Here's what I do know about the Federal League, man. When you go at it on Tuesday and you go at it on Wednesday, it's completely tournament atmosphere, regardless of who you're playing. You're getting an elite arm on Tuesday. You're getting somebody that has a scouting report that knows you, up and down, in and out. And you got to play a complete game and handle emotion. And I think that's why you see a lot of our teams make deep tournament runs regardless of the sport, right? You see it in softball, you see it in basketball, you see it in football, is because you're playing tournament style baseball for us, every Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's a grind, man. It's exhausting.
I've always wanted to ask you, I've talked to some other coaches over the years, I get to come out and watch very few baseball games because of schedule and work. And then if I can come out on a weekend or a tournament, man, I am there and I see the wheels turn and I feel the tension, the drama. I got to imagine, though, your practices are really fast-paced. They're deep into detail. Take us behind the curtain there, if you would, about what that's like as opposed to what the games are like.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we try and train to as much as you can, and coaches get it. Like the practices are the coach's game day, so we spend a lot of time in preparation to put them through and create a competitive environment. Because at the end of the day, I can't get them ready to play, maybe at Scene Park or at Rubber Duck Stadium for this or that, in those type of atmospheres, but I can make them have to compete, and the biggest thing for us is in our practice plans and in our schedules and our structures, we want them competing all the time at a high rate of speed, and I think that's the thing that we really push them to do is compete nonstop. Can we create teachable moments and growth? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this comes down to, you want competitors that are hungry and want to eat, and that's what we try to get. We try to get out of them, all winter, all spring, and in preparation for the tournament run.
Jackson baseball coach Bill Gamble is our guest, and of course the Bears are hopefully trying to make that deep run and bring back some more hardware here to Stark County. Billy, was there a game or maybe a series this year where you looked at your staff and said, "Yep, going to be a good year"?
I don't know if you can say that, because I think every coach that's out there, and when you're in the mud, you might not see that, what I mean? But there's moments that you're like, all right, okay, we're starting to figure it out. I think you go back, weirdly for us, it goes back a couple series ago when we played North Canton, and I can't think of the series after that. Maybe it was a bye week. I'm sorry, North Canton, and then our bye week we had Worcester, Iggy, and
North Royalton,
and North Royalton in there, and we were winning games with 2 hits. Which you're not supposed to do, right?
Right.
And so we were like, look, we can pitch it. We're figuring that out. We're playing defense. And then it was really just some heart-to-hearts with the top of our order. And we literally sat down and we're like, hey, we got to get you guys going, because when you go, then the bottom of the order doesn't have the pressure, and they're going to go. And then all of a sudden, the next week, we did a little bit more. And again, credit to our coaching staff, because we varied up the practice a little bit, and we kind of attacked certain things that I think we were lacking offensively, hitting backside a little bit more and staying through the baseball and staying more gap to gap. And then all of a sudden, you start seeing crooked numbers come out of us offensively, and we start barreling the ball, and all of a sudden now we're running the bases better, and all of a sudden our small games working a little bit better, because we're just catching barrels, and everybody's just playing a little more freely and with more creativity. So I would say, like, that moment when we started putting multiple phases together, you're like, all right, now you feel a little bit more confident going into when you get to May, because that was our ultimate goal, is try to get to May and make May matter, and then that sets you up for next week.
The old adage of back when Earl Weaver was around coaching the Orioles, they didn't steal bases, they didn't bunt. They said, we're not doing that. They sat back and they waited for the 3-run home run, and it worked out for them more times than not. You have always been a kind of guy, you'll put the ball in play, make things happen, put the pressure on somebody else to make a play. Where did that come from? That come from your dad, or where did that come along?
That probably was instilled somewhere there, from the OG. I've just been fortunate enough to coach under and around just some elite minds of the game, even being a grad assistant volunteer with Canton with those guys when Rem and Berkey and Bealsey were there, and all the way down and coaching for my father for a while too. I think that instilled, but at the end of the day, you got to understand it's high school baseball, number one. Number two, if you want to make a deep tournament run, you got to play in minor league parks. It's really hard to hit home runs in minor league parks. So you see with high school bodies, right? Everyone, but so we have to understand how we have to be able to put pressure on the defense, and to do that, you got to be able to put the ball in play, because you're going to face some elite arms, and elite arms, you can't just stand up there. Again, if I had Arkansas's lineup or LSU's lineup, we're not bunting. You know what I mean? We're probably not stealing. We might be hanging on to first until we hit the ball at the ballpark. But when you run out there, some guys that are still developing physically, you got to find a way to score runs, and running the bases, base running, hitting backside. You got to be able to do that at the high school level.
Jackson Polar Bears will get ready for their tournament here coming up on the 28th. Will be their first tournament game. Of course, you go back to the 17 baseball season, state championship. You finished 30-2 that year. There was a state championship before that when you knocked off a great Cincinnati Moeller team. As far as coaching under your dad, you've had a great staff. You got great kids over there. How much fun is it still for you to go out onto that diamond, that practice field, get on that bus every day and do what you're doing?
I think it's a privilege. It's humbling at the same time, because that this program was when I took the program over, it was a fantastic program, and when you're given the keys to it, there's a responsibility there, and I think we've, as a staff, have done to kind of raise that bar, and in Starr County, but for us too, you know. But there's still that. You still have high school young men, you know, learning the game, trying to be able to emotionally handle it, and there's still that passion every day. You know, you're going to bed thinking about it, you're waking up thinking about it, you know, and I think that's the things that drive me now. It's not so much about me, you know. I've dogpiled, I've done it, and I do everything I can for that euphoric moment for this group or that next group to be able to go out and have that moment.
There's nothing like it. Billy, I really appreciate you coming on. Best of luck against Riverside, a little tune-up maybe, then the tournament game against Whitmer coming up here on the 28th at 5 p.m. Best of luck. I know you're going to make a deep run. We'll catch up with you down the road. Have a great weekend.
Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
You got it. There he goes. Bill Gamble, the outstanding head baseball coach of the Jackson Polar Bears, in search of their third state championship in Division I high school baseball. And who knows? They just might get it. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side on this day in sports history. All coming up next here on 1310.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
It's that time again. You know what time it is. It's time for On This Day in Sports History. Here on the Sam Bourquin Show, we break it down for you Monday through Friday around 5:27 here on 1310 WDPN. So let's go. On this day in 1876, Boston's Joe Borden pitched the first no-hitter in the history of the National League. I did not know that until today. On this day in 1926, Hack Wilson became the first player to hit a home run off the scoreboard at Wrigley Field. On this day in 1962, the National Basketball Association agreed to transfer the Philadelphia Warriors to San Francisco. The team then became the San Francisco Warriors and later would be called the Golden State Warriors. On this day in 1962, Joe Pepitone of the New York Yankees hit 2 home runs in the same inning. On this day in 1963, NBC purchased the 1963 AFL Championship game television rights for $926,000. My goodness. What would that cost today? On this day in 1978, the American League approved the transfer of Gene Yonke, Boston Red Sox, for $15 million. In 1984, the Detroit Tigers won their 16th game in a row. That tied an American League record, and they rode that all the way to the World Series under manager Sparky Anderson. You soccer fans, 1991, the San Diego Sockers of the Major Indoor Soccer League won their 4th consecutive championship, and you guessed it, they beat a team from Cleveland. It was the Cleveland Crunch. On this day in 1991, the New York Yankees played their 4th straight extra inning game. And some sad news on this day. In Kansas City, Missouri, Owen Hart passed away. He fell 90 feet being lowered onto the WWE wrestling ring. He was just 33 years old.
Tragedy befell the World Wrestling Federation and all of us. Owen Hart was set to make an entrance from the ceiling, and he fell from the ceiling. And I have the unfortunate responsibility to let everyone know that Owen Hart has died. Owen Hart has tragically died from that accident here tonight.
And man, oh man, was that sad. On this day in 1999. That was just awful. There it is. On this day in sports history, we do it Monday through Friday at the bottom of the 5 o'clock hour right here on 1310 WDPN. Stick around. News and weather coming up. One more big half hour to go. And then the Memorial Day holiday weekend is officially underway. Stay with us, everybody. The Sam Bourquin Show will continue.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. President Trump has threatened to impose a tariff of at least 25% on Apple iPhones not manufactured in the United States. The president issued a warning to Apple CEO Tim Cook saying iPhones sold in the U.S. must be manufactured domestically or face a tariff of at least 25%. The announcement comes amidst escalating trade tensions between the U.S. and various countries, including China, where the majority of Apple's iPhone production currently takes place. The company has shifted some of its production to India due to the country's more favorable trade relationship. Cook and the president met at the White House Tuesday. Apple's also announced plans to invest $500 billion in U.S. development, including the production of AI servers in Houston. In addition to the tariff threat on Apple, Trump also called for a 50% tariff on products imported from the European Union. The president offered friendly advice to Britain, suggesting the country's astronomical energy bills might come down if the government increases supply of cost-effective oil rather than trying to block new extraction. Consumers and businesses in the UK pay some of the highest energy prices in the world. Praising the trade deal minute earlier this month, Trump said, "I strongly recommended them. However, in order to get their energy costs down, they stopped with the costly and unsightly windmills and incentivized modern drilling in the North Sea." The U.S. has turned from an energy importer to an exporter recently through the use of shale gas. The UK also has these resources, but is so ideologically opposed to running the energy grid on gas, recently filled a few test wells with cement. Many economists forecast the president's imposition of tariffs would, by driving up the cost of imports, revive inflation. Most recent data indicate the rate of price increases has remained subdued. Since April, the president has entered into trade negotiations with several countries, including a deal with China May 12th to temporarily reduce tariffs. The impact also a function of how reliant America is on imports. May 19th report by Bart Hoban and Fernanda Necchio, analysts at the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, calculated imports amounted to only about 14% of U.S. GDP in 2024. Massachusetts State Auditor Diana DeZoglio says the state's Democratic governor relied on unlawful no-bid contracts, some to political allies, to fund her free housing program for migrants. The report released Tuesday claims Maura Healey dispensed with a proper competitive bidding process, mismanaged contracts, and did not keep proper records. The auditor alleges the lack of transparency and lack of administrative oversight led to massive waste in funding the migrant shelters. Man accused of killing 2 Israeli embassy staff flaunted his support for Hamas online and attended Black Lives Matter protests. 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez was arrested after shooting Israeli embassy staff members Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram as they left a reception near Washington's Jewish Museum Wednesday. Thursday, Rodriguez was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, murder of foreign officials, causing death with a firearm, and discharging a firearm in a crime of violence. According to an FBI affidavit, Rodriguez was captured on security cameras walking past the couple before turning and shooting them from behind. He eventually fired nearly 24 rounds. 52 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Going to be calm and in the lower 50s for your afternoon forecast. Looks like a small chance of rain between 6 and 8 p.m. Otherwise, pretty calm. That is your afternoon weather. I'm Ryan Rainsberg.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids.
I can dance.
I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. 5:36 on your Friday afternoon. It is a fill-in-the-blank Friday here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Today's fill-in-the-blank Friday question is, a lot of people don't know it, but your hidden talent is blank. A lot of people might not know, you know, your hidden talent is blank. What is your hidden talent? 330-821-1310. You can text the show, 330-724. Whoop, I knew I was going to screw that up. 924-7088. Appreciate you joining us here on this Friday to kick off to the Memorial Day holiday weekend. If you're listening at 1310wdpn.com, the DPN Facebook page, the Twitter page, or you're just chiming along with us on the Q92 Radio Facebook page or YouTube channel. See lots of you hanging out there today, and we certainly do appreciate that. We will be back with you Tuesday. Everybody off here at the station on Monday, so we'll be back Tuesday, 6 a.m. You can start your day bright and early with Rex in the Morning, John Tesh, music for your life, and some great tidbits from 10 till 3. And then I'll be in from 3 until 6 here as we take you home Monday through Fridays here on 1310 WDPN. Some bad news for the Guardians today. We mentioned this earlier in the show. I figure we bring it up again here because we got a little, been a couple hours, and new audiences checking in and checking out. Guardians right-handed pitcher Ben Lively expected to undergo surgery to repair the damaged flexor tendon and ulnar collateral ligament. The team made the announcement a couple of hours ago, actually. He could miss up to 16 months after the surgery. Lively recently visited with Dr. Keith Meister for a second opinion. That happens quite often. On his elbow, which he injured during a May 12th game against the Milwaukee Brewers. The 33-year-old has been solid for the Guardians this year. A career best ERA of 3.22 and a whip of 1.19 in a total of 9 starts. That stinks. That really does. All the best, man. Ben Lively, surgery, reconstructive surgery coming up. He could be on the shelf for the next 12 to 16 months. So what that means is you're not going to have him the rest of this year, and you may not have him again next year. That's tough. That is really tough. I hated to hear that today, but that's the news that came down from the Guardians a little bit after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Speaking of the Guardians, a nice 7-0 win last night over the Detroit Tigers, so they'll look for 2 in a row. Hey, if they get a win tonight, you're back to 5 games out of first place, right? Slade Ciccone on the mound tonight for Cleveland, and Joby will be on the mound for Detroit. Tigers a slight favorite tonight. The total is 8.5, and that is a 7-10 first pitch. There was a game earlier today, I believe. I can find it here. There was. Oh my God. Boy, if we had funeral music, we would play it right now for the Baltimore Orioles. They are absolutely awful. Listen to this. The Boston Red Sox scored 13 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning today at Fenway. 13 runs in 1 inning, and they would go on to smash the Orioles by the score of 19-5. How about this line score? This is unbelievable. This is so Fenway Park, though, right? Boston, 19 runs, 20 hits, no errors. Orioles, 5 runs, 14 hits, and 2 errors. How do you give up 13 runs in 1 inning? Now I've got to go look at the stats. Now I've got to go look and see who did what. For the Red Sox today, Duran, 2 for 5, 3 runs scored. Devers, 4 for 6, 3 runs, 8 RBI. Reef Snyder, 3 for 5, 2 runs, and 4 RBI. Navarez, 3 for 5, with an RBI, 2 runs scored. Sodgaard, 3 for 6, with 2 runs and an RBI. Campbell, 2 for 4. Rafaela, 2 for 4. Holy cow. How about the Orioles pitching? Let's see who gave up all the runs today. That's embarrassing. Let's see here. Povich started for Baltimore, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Not bad. And then the floodgates open. Dominguez, a third of inning, 2 runs, 3 hits. Soto gives up 2 on 2, 2 and a third. Perez comes in for an inning, 4 runs on 5 hits. Rivera comes in, gives up 8 runs and 8 hits in 1 inning of work. Boston beats the Orioles today by the score of 19-5. My goodness gracious. What else is going on in the baseball? Reds are hosting the Cubs tonight down in Cincinnati. Hunter Green is on the bump for the Reds. The Pittsburgh Pirates at home against the Brewers. Paul Skeens. How bad does this guy need to get out of Pittsburgh? That organization is an absolute travesty. It's a travesty. I know we banged on the Dolans for a while for their ownership and not spending money and cutting corners here and there. This guy that owns the Pittsburgh Steelers, he ought to be thrown out of the league. What is it, Bob Nutting? He stinks. That whole organization. You know what? I remember the We Are Family days. I don't remember. I never got to see Roberto Clemente. I never got to see Bill Mazeroski. I didn't get to see any of that. I was too young. But I fell in love with the Pirates when I was growing up. 10 years old, they went to the World Series. I got to go to a game at Three River Stadium that year, that World Series against the Baltimore Orioles. And they were down 3-1. They come back to win. We Are Family, Dave Parker, John Candelaria, Rennie Stennett, Bill Madlock, all those guys. Dave Parker, the Cobra, Omar Moreno, Scrap Iron, Phil Garner, Ed Ott, Manny Sanguian. Excuse me. Fell in love with the Pirates. Loved those softball uniforms. And I was like, man, Bruce Keeson. I loved watching those guys play. And, they got their World Series. Then they kind of went into a funk a little bit. But Chuck Tanner was one of the great managers of all time. And he had them, in the 80s, they were playing some pretty good ball. They got lucky in the 90s a couple of years. Didn't really, they ran into Francisco Cabrera and the Atlanta Braves. They blew a game in Atlanta. They could have went to the World Series. But this is an embarrassment. The Pittsburgh Pirates are an embarrassment. And it's sad because I love going to PNC Ballpark. I love to watch the team play. And Paul Skeens, 62 and almost 63 innings of work this year. 62 strikeouts, 16 walks. His ERA is 2.44, but guess what? His record is 3-5 because that team is so bad. And it's because of their owner. Terrible ownership with the Pittsburgh Pirates. What is Pittsburgh? 17-34. And it's been that way for several years now. Now you're starting to see rumors floating around about, the Pirates maybe wanting to trade Paul Skeens because they could get, you could probably get 8 to 10 high-level prospects in return for a guy who's just 22 years old. Since he came into the majors, he's had 33 starts, a 2.12 earned run average, 232 strikeouts, and over 195 innings of work. But the Pirates are 17-34. Every home game you go to, the people that show up, I don't blame them for not going. I don't blame them for not supporting that garbage. Every night, there's the chant of sell the team, sell the team. Every night at PNC Park, you hear that. What a waste. What a waste of a talent by Paul Skeens. One of the most dominating pitchers already. He's 22 years old. And they can't figure out a way to build around this guy. They can't figure out a way to spend money and spend it the right way. Beautiful ballpark. Still a very passionate fan base. Now, it's not the Cubs, it's not the Dodgers, it's not the Yankees, but it's a pretty passionate base. But if you keep spitting on them the way that they have, sooner or later, people aren't going to show up, and the ones that do are going to be standing up, screaming at the top of their lungs to sell the team. That's exactly what they get. I didn't mean to go on that diatribe, but I did. Nationals and Giants later on tonight. The Blue Jays and Rays will play. Oh, my God. The Orioles and the Red Sox have to play again. Oh, no. You just got beat 19-5. You gave up 13 runs in the 8th inning, and you got to come back and play at 7 o'clock. Have fun with that. Dodgers and the Mets tonight at Citi Field. Padres and Braves. San Diego's playing good ball. Twins Royals in the division. We'll keep our eyes on that one tonight. And anything else going on here exciting? Oh, here. Yankees at Colorado. Rockies have won 9 games. For you gamblers out there, if you want to bet the Yankees tonight, the New York Yankees are minus 300 against the Rockies. You got to put up $300 to win 100. Maybe I'll take a little flyer on the Rockies tonight. Get Aiden Longwell up there. Telling you. Hit another home run last night, Aiden did. Over the caboose at the stadium in Spokane. I think it's his 8th home run of the year. He didn't just hit the caboose. He hit it over the caboose last night. Aiden's still slamming the ball around. Phillies and A's tonight. That's the rest of the schedule. NHL tonight, Edmonton and Dallas. Let's see here. That's 8 o'clock. The Stars lead that series 1-0. And, of course, you got the Knicks and Pacers tonight. I can't wait for that. Madison Square Garden, Indiana and New York. The Knicks are a 5.5-point favorite. The total is 224.5. And, of course, Indiana already leads that series 1-0. And where are the golfers at this weekend? Oh, yeah, the Charles Schwab Challenge. Not one of the more highly anticipated golf tournaments, but some pretty low scores there so far in that one. WNBA, Fever don't play tonight. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She did not make a 3-pointer in a game. And I think I saw that's the first time that's happened since she was a sophomore at Iowa. She did not make a 3-pointer last night, but her team still won. But Caitlin Clark's 3-point make streak was stopped last night against the Atlanta Dream. 5:48 is our time, almost 5:49. Let's talk ribs. What do you say, Rainsburg? Let's talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn-off going on as we speak over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I do love barbecue sauce. It is the best.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like many different kinds. What's your go-to barbecue sauce?
Sweet Baby Ray's. I believe it is I want to say like hickory and something else. I can never remember what it is. Man, is it good.
Hickory smoke, maybe?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I hate that. I'm blanking on it now. I haven't had it in a while, but
you better go get some this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's the weekend for it.
That's right. One of my favorite all-time barbecue sauces is from our good buddy Brian Bailey in Old Carolina, right down the road. The Screaming Beaver. It's hot, man, but it's really good. But they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got 8 rib vendors at the Ribs Burn Off at the Hall of Fame. Uncle Bacon is there, one of my favorites. Fat Freddy's, Mr. Johnson, Armadillos, Austin's Texas Lightning, Off the Bone, and the Big Show Barbecue Company. Plus all of your other favorite festival fare, if you will. Right? You can't go and have ribs. Excuse me. You got to have the Italian sausage. You got to have fries. You got to have cotton candy, a little lemonade.
Right. It's a barbecue.
I mean, you got to do it all.
You got to have all the barbecue stuff. You need some
caramel apple,
potato salad.
Yes.
Macaroni salad.
You got to do it all. They got plenty of drinks over there. They got the good stuff over there, right? They got all your favorite beverages. They got the popping water, but they got some great beer and wine and mixed drinks and all that for you. They've got inflatables for the kids, all the food. They got some great musical entertainment. I know New Wave Nation is going to play over there. Let's see here. New Wave Nation plays tonight at 8 o'clock, so you've still got time to go over and check them out. Saturday, Sugar Creek will be on the Roto-Rooter stage. You will have, let's see, who else you got coming over there? Sunday, you've got Bad Juju will be on the stage, and Rock House will be on the Roto-Rooter stage. And then, of course, Sunday night, you got the big fireworks display. Come on out and join us. I'll be out there tomorrow from 5 until 8, and then Sunday, 12:30 to 4:30, stop by the Q92 van, the big tent. We got some prizes to give away. We can hang out, have some fun, enjoy the weekend together at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn off this weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All right, 8 minutes left in the program. We'll take our final break of the afternoon, and we'll come back and we'll let Phil take us out here a little bit before 6 o'clock. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Friday on 1310 WDPN and streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, we got the final 5 minutes here on the program. We'll be back with you. Don't forget, we're off Monday, but we will be back Tuesday here on WDPN. Start your day with Rex in the morning, and then he'll take you up till 10 o'clock, and then we will have music for your life at 10 until 3 with our good buddy John Tesh, and then I'll be in ready to roll with you 3 until 6 right here on 1310 WDPN. Also, if you get a chance, get on over to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know it's not the greatest weather, but it's good ribs burn-off weather. There's a little chill in the air. Put a little hoodie, a little jacket. You'll be fine. And go out there and have some great food and drink. Enjoy some great music, the inflatables for the kids. That's all weekend long at the Pro Football Hall of Fame at the 2025 Ribs Burn-Off. And come on out and see me. I'll be there tomorrow, 5 until 8. Check out the Q92 broadcast area. I'll be there. And, of course, on Sunday from 12:30 until 4:30. So we are looking forward to hanging out with you this weekend at the Ribs Burn-Off. Okay, let's see. Well, a couple things that I did not do today. Update our responses on our fill-in-the-blank Friday. And our fill-in-the-blank Friday today was, people may not know it, but your hidden talent is blank. What is your hidden talent? Tony says, apparently still hidden. George says, singing solo. So low that you can't hear me. Oh, boy, you can tell the weekend has already started. Pam says, hiding out still is my hidden talent. Robin Eve says, my hidden talent is driving women away without saying a word. Steve down in Texas says solving math problems is his hidden talent. Timothy Abrick, Tim, hope always will have a great weekend, buddy. Says, I'm excellent at the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Can't be beat. And Richard Altman, Richard, hope you're well. He says singing is his hidden talent. Jimmy Baumgartner says his hidden talent is karaoke. Thad says doing the Sudoku puzzles. Don Smith, remembering useless information, but important information at times. And Kim says her hidden talent is comedy. So we appreciate everybody hanging out with us today and commenting on all of our social media platforms. And while I've got you for another minute or so, make sure you go to Facebook and like and share and follow us on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page. A lot of cool content up there, stuff to kind of get you through the day and night. So do us a favor, go there right now, go to Facebook on your phone, your computer, whatever, and just type in 1310 WDPN and go to our Facebook page and give it a like, give it a share, give it a follow, drop us a comment. We would certainly appreciate it. And while I've got you, I got another favor. And when you're done there, I want you to go to the Q92 Sports Facebook page and like and share and follow that as well. You're going to be glad you did. Both of those pages, especially with the high school football season coming up, all the great content, the videos, the interviews, the game broadcasts, all of that really, really, really cool stuff is coming really, really soon. And of course, you can check us out on Twitter or X, on Instagram. I got a little TikTok going at Sam Bourquin 16. You can follow me there. So we will do our best to interact with you as much as we possibly can, because we certainly enjoy you doing it with us and taking time out of your schedule to spend some time with us here on 1310. Rainsburg, we're almost out the door here, but what's your plans for the weekend? You going to head over to the burn off at all, or what's going on?
Well, we are live broadcasting from the burn off all weekend.
That's right.
So I will be producing that and spending most of my weekend here, actually.
So I'll be hanging out with you, sort of.
Quintessentially.
I'll be on site at the hall. You'll be back here, but we'll be talking to each other and making sure that everything goes smooth.
Yes, we will be working together from afar.
Because every time technology is involved, you just never know.
No, I got to be here. I have to. I have to take care of it.
I'm looking forward to feeding my face and having some fun and seeing a lot of our listeners over the weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Cook-Off, Ribs Festival. It's all going on right now at the Hall of Fame. Check us out. We'll be out there today, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks to everybody who listened today. Thanks to all the emailers, texters, callers, and commenters. Appreciate Ryan Rainsburg on the other side of the glass. And most of all, thanks for listening, everybody. Be safe. Have a great holiday weekend. Again, join us at the Hall of Fame for the Ribs Burn-Off this weekend. We'll be back with you on Tuesday. Remember, go Browns, go Bucks, go Cavs, go Guards. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you Tuesday.